What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to show y'all how to tie an FG knot. So here it is. Got my rod and reel here. This is a Shimano G Loomis NRX Shimano twin power reel. Got the Shimano Pitbull 16-pound sinking braid. This is Japanese braid, not available in the US, but I'm experimenting, just seeing how this stuff works over here. So using that, I'm going to tie onto a fluorocarbon leader. Pick any leader of your choice. I'm going a 10-pound Berkeley today. Trilene. Let's get after it. Basically, the most important thing with this knot is you want some sort of tension on the line. So typically for me, I'm tying it in the boat. And what I like to do is sit on my front deck and wrap my rod and line around my seat. That just provides just enough tension, not too much, not too little, to where I'm able to get some good tight wraps on this stuff. Wrapping tightly is the key. So what you can do if you're not in a boat, just actually tie it to your reel. I see a lot of guys tie it to the reel handle of the braid. I just wrap it around, kind of like how I store my rods. Wrap it around a few times and you're good to go. So you just want to be able to keep some sort of tension. I'll make sure I have enough line for me. I'm going to give it one good wrap, maybe two good wraps, and I'm ready to tie the FG knot. So you can see there's my old FG knot. I cut it after the knot, so that just makes it easier to hold the braid with your mouth. These thin little braids, even 8-pound American Power Pro is just super thin, so having a little bit of a knot helps you bite down on that, keeps you hold tension. So what you want to do is put that knot in your mouth, just like so. I'm going to try to do this and still be able to talk. Grab your fluorocarbon. I like the fluorocarbon on my left side. I am right-handed, but that's typically what I do is fluorocarbon on the left. I want to grab the line. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it around my hand. So it's not going to affect the memory of the line. You don't want to do it that tight, but do it tight enough to where you're able to hold tension. And the whole key with this knot is tension. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay my fluorocarbon on top of my braid. Actually get this a little tighter. On top of my braid, just like so. I'm going to use my pointer finger and my thumb to pinch that right there. And with my fluorocarbon end, I'm going to go under and over, and I'm going to pull it tight. And what that's going to do is kind of click in there. Your first 4 wraps are the most important part. So you want to do that process over 4 times. 1, that was 2, 3, 4. That is the most important part of this knot. So I'm going to repeat that process a couple times. I'm not sure how many times I actually do it. With the thinner braids, I do it more times. With bigger stuff like I'm flipping, I do it less times. So, and I also will say, like Power Pro Super Slick, I need to do it more times. The 4 carrier braids are more coarse, so they have a more bite. So just keep that in mind. So I'm gonna continue that process. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I'll do it up to 30 times, just depending on how long you're not. Really, that knot's done already. But for just peace of mind, I'm going to keep going a couple more times. So I just think it looks pretty. And it's just peace of mind that I know I'm not going to break off. And I've never broke this knot. I don't think this knot is almost impossible to break. It's basically a Chinese finger trap. And basically you can go fast like this. I will say it does take a little longer than a normal knot, but it's not bad. Once you get the hang of it, it's so worth it. So I don't even know how many knots I've done. This will be my last one, and you'll be left with something like that. You can see it. And what I like to do is take the braid out of your mouth. What you want to do is go over the fluorocarbon, not the fluorocarbon, and then your main line braid running parallel with each other. Grab this end and do an overhand granny knot. I do it 1 time, super tight. Do it a second time, super tight. That's really all you need. Then with your fluorocarbon, What you want to do is make a loop with it, like so. See, make a loop. And you want to shrink this loop as tight as you can. Make it as small of a loop with less. You want to hold on to it as long as possible. And I'll kind of work it down and try to get it as small as I can and not as much tag. So there's a little bit of a gap you can see between that where the knot ends and then where this new fluorocarbon knot is. What you want to do is do it as tight as possible. Cinch on it. Grab a pair of scissors. These are kitchen scissors. I prefer, braid scissors, but cut the fluorocarbon as tight as you can to the knot as possible. And with that gap, you're going to fill that in with your braid. So just overhand knots. I'll go through there, pinch, 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 and then once I reach it, I'll actually go over and do overhand knots on my braid itself. And I'll even do double loops if I feel crazy. But that's essentially it. The FG knot is almost done. And you just want to make sure everything's tight, ready to rock. And it is. It looks perfect. I'm going to pinch this with this hand. I'm going to cut it fairly close. And I want to be able to fray it up a little bit when I cut it. Just like that. I'm going to grab the whole knot, hide the fluorocarbon, where it's just the tag end of the braid. Hit it with the lighter. And you have a perfectly tied FG knot. It's perfect for all your spinning applications. Also, I like to flip with this knot. This is the perfect knot. It's a little bit harder to tie, but once you get the hang out of it, it is the best knot on the planet. Check out the FG knot. If you have any questions, let me know. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Let me know if you tie it a little bit different. I want to hear it all. Thanks, guys.